Hi everybody. Um, it's Jean Tuitt here. Celery Queen Jean Tuitt can do it. Um, Waco woman, whatever. We got good news. Willie Nelson, who's from Waco, has started a new product, and I'm anxious to find out more about it. Um, but it's like a hemp product. There's like non-alcoholic drinks, and they look really good. So, and then once again, Angela's selling these special little kits. So hit me up if you want to know more about it. It's got the hot mom oil, and then the wands, celery wands for healing. And if you want the story behind that, you can get a little acting session with me. I think I'm only going to charge like $20 for the first 45 minutes if you want to meet with me about, acting or marketing, sales, writing, all the things that I've done all my life. And I know I don't like to talk about my age because I'm still working and everything, and an older single, see, without kids or whatever. So, you know, but but there's a lot to do, and I'm really working on my mindset. The STFU about. I'm trying not to talk anything negative or think negative thoughts, because thoughts become things and all the stuff. And sometimes I'm just like a lot of people. We let all the news and everything bombard us with negativity, and it may not be as bad as we think. I mean, it can be, but we just got to keep pivoting. When this price goes up, then we got to do this, and we got to do this, and and then if you want to just like skate by and not have a lot of money, this, regardless of your age, regardless if you're too young or too old or whatever, or use that as an excuse, you can do that too. But most of us have to hustle a bit and get more work, whether it's working somewhere or working for ourselves or someone else, just to make extra money for fun. And that should be a big motivation. I mean, I know fun is not everything in life, but fun is important. And not to sound like an old timer or anything, but I was lucky to grow up in a time, although, like I said, my childhood was not like a fairy tale every minute, but it was okay. I mean, but the bottom line is, once I got into college and got away, then I was able to work hard, play hard, and I kind of did that a long time, and I was lucky to be able to like work 80 hours a week at a newspaper office, go out disco dancing several nights a week. Of course, back then, the drinks were free or cheap for ladies, whatever. You get a lot of exercise dancing or tennis mixers or whatever. But fun is important, and I think with all the things that have happened to us, I am a tinfoil hat person. I do think some of these things were done to us deliberately. Like I said, I started out in the news business, and if you've ever had friends or people in your life that wanted to keep you down, so that you maybe just so that you wouldn't just get two steps ahead of them. Like if you're a sweet person, like if you're a recovering doormat, or whatever, like I've been different things, and they will try to, intimidate you or trigger you, upset you, try to rain on your parade, and just keep on keeping on, guys. So anyway, we got that. Oh, and then up in North Texas, well, just north of here, I'm in Waco, of course. I'm from Dallas, but my hometown city of Dallas, they've got some more Taylor Sheridan filming with the new show. It's a spinoff of, I believe, Tulsa King, and it's with Samuel Jackson up in Frisco, Texas, which is just north of Plano. And And then, of course, that's an hour and a half north of here. And then I'm an hour and a half north of Austin. So it turns out that where I live is not a bad area. And, I just got to try to, it's challenging because I don't have a dishwasher and different things, but yet I'm lucky to have a place. I mean, if you ever watch the YouTube a lot, you will see certain people, like, for example, DoorDash and different ones have been living in their car. And, of course, a lot of times they do have jobs, but they're doing it to save money. And I saw that when I was out in LA. But, if you're in your 20s or 30s, or maybe even early 40s or whatever, you might be able to do that. But when you get older, you really need a place, because you can't like go hours and hours without going to the bathroom, or you'll need to take a shower. You need to, and if you have pets, or, if you're older, like I live in 450 square feet, but I still have to have space for my stuff. I've decluttered a lot. I'm still in the process of decluttering a lot. I mean, there are myriads of ways to make money too, like you can sell your books and your clothes, and, it just takes a lot of time and work, just like, deleting thousands and thousands of emails. At one point I even had like up to 1 million emails because I was just looking into everything I could to make extra money. And and I'm a creative person, and I'm an actress still. I've done that. Well, I did that growing up and everything for fun. Mostly dancing and all that, musicals and such, high school and all that, but dance recitals. But when I caught the acting bug out in LA, it was really exciting, and that's an exciting place to live too. But unfortunately, there's a lot of problems there with homeless and people living in their cars there. The rent is just too high there. If I was ever to move back out there again, I would have to have roommates, or by the end, I'd be having to have somehow be making a lot more money, or maybe I'd get lucky and find the right person finally, to be married to, or for a mate or boyfriend or whatever. But, anyway, I did try to go live. For some reason, they've changed it up. The technology on going live is a little bit different, so it might have been easier to do that on my computer, but on my iPad, it's challenging to go live. So I have to check into that. But anyway, I'm back. Oh, and I got my internet back. I mean, I'm just like juggling bills, but I got my internet back on, so I was happy about that. So, but you can always use your cell service, but then you have to give them more money if you have, if you don't have enough data, if your data is limited. Of course, you can always go to Starbucks and always give them a boost, but then you got to watch it there, because your small iced mocha or your small latte or whatever might end up being $6 or whatever. But, and that's just for like the smaller ones. I made a little latte here. I call it an egg latte. I got the idea from someone in my group, Angela Shelton's little declutter healing group. David, his name, he's up in somewhere up in Missouri or someplace. Has a farm up there. He has a channel on different things about farm life and products and things. But anyway, about putting an egg in your coffee, you just make your coffee, like even if you only make it as instant, like you put your water in the microwave, your cup, and then end up putting your favorite instant coffee. You could do, of course, obviously do it with your coffee maker too. I do have a coffee maker here, but I have such limited space. My kitchen is super small. But anyway, I will make it that way too. But you can just, like, if you want to just put your, your hot water cup in the microwave, and then put your instant coffee, mix it up. And then at that point, if you want to go ahead and add some milk first, or it might be best to go ahead and put the egg in first so that it's super hot coffee. Make it as hot as you can, and then you can like use one of those little coffee blender, like the things you use for a cup to blend it, or even just with a fork and just beat up the egg in the coffee, and then it cooks it automatically. And then you can actually add some kind of protein powder if you want, like a chocolate protein powder, a little bit in it, then put some milk, some whole milk or cream in it, and maybe a little sugar or whatever to taste. But whip it up really good, and you've got an egg latte. So, and that's really healthy to have. And I was talking to my friend Patricia the other day about, she's the one that's written several plays and books, and then she's got this new movie. She's working on a movie script, but and I'm planning to help her with it, and we both are actors too, but she's mainly a writer. She likes writing the best. I like writing, but I really love acting. I love it, but I may have to write some characters for myself. I'm not always a stereotype person. I am actually. I am a stereotype. I'm kind of like the old-fashioned stereotype woman. But we live in a different world now, so I think I was like dreaming of being like a June Cleaver on Leave It to Beaver show. I always thought that was so cool, but then I've always had ambition too. So I saw Barbara Walters and different people make it big, and when I was in journalism, some small newspapers. But anyway, what we're talking about diets. Back to Patricia. I did take a GABA supplement today that kind of helps you kind of just relax a little bit. It's over the counter. You can get it at Vitamin Shop. If you're creative, you might have a little bit of ADHD, whatever. But back when I was a kid, they didn't even diagnose people with stuff like that, and you have to watch out with a lot of these different things. But I do like caffeine. But anyway, back to that. We're talking about diets, and especially as you get older, you only really need one good, solid, healthy meal per day. And the rest of the time, you could just have like a small, like the little mocha drink or the egg latte drink, whatever, for breakfast. And then, for lunch you could have like just some fruit, up at the church pantry the other day, they had a bunch of fruit for us. So that was kind of fun. Anybody can go there because, if you're struggling, everybody's kind of watching it. And but you get a lot of fruit. They give you a lot of canned stuff too, but you can always rinse a lot of that salt off. But they do give out like fruit, like, well, I guess I could get it and show you next time, like gigantic squash, and you could even put it in the microwave. Last time I just put it in my microwave. But basically, you really only need a little fruit and vegetables, but only one full meal, because especially as you're older. So I guess that's it for now. So but yeah, there's a lot of things we can market. Like I'm still trying to get the pepperoni company to pay me something to market this, because my dog just loves these. I'm on like a strictly tight budget, and my neighbor was gonna get a dog, and then she decided that she didn't want to have a dog, so she gave the dog back. But she had some extra dog food. I mean, there's always ways to get extra dog food, but he eats a lot of economical or more healthy things. Not to say this isn't, but this is starting to get a little more pricey. This was maybe $3, but it lasts a long time. But it's mostly as a treat. The pepperoni, you have you see the little ad on here I made. It's like a little free thing I made. My name is Tony, and I love pepperoni. That's my dog's name, Tony. But anyway, oh, and also Trump declassified marijuana. So that'll be good for Texas, because, they do have the hemp shops here, and I think they can go, don't quote me, I think up to 9% of THC, up to 9% of it can be THC in the whole hemp product, whether it's a gummy, you can get gummies for like $1, and they're pretty strong, so you really only need like part of one, so each little, like relaxing thing would only be 10 cents. But anyway, so they'll be able to sell more products, like whether you smoke it or whatever, or they put it in products. Sometimes people put it in, well, when I was living out in LA, and it was medical, and then it went recreational, and of course, I partaked in it some when I was out there, if I had some extra money, but out there you could get it like in peanut butter or little cookies, or all kinds of things, but here they're slowly doing that, like the hemp product, and then just a small percentage of THC. But now with this declassifying, they'll be able to add more THC to the product, and I think they're even making like teas and coffees, and the hemp products, CBD, can calm you down, and it can also, and I believe that's what's in the new Willie Nelson drinks too. I went ahead and inquired about them to promote for them, but that sounds like a great product. Yeah, and Willie Nelson actually grew up here in Waco, and then I guess he moved to, I need to check. I think he went to Baylor, but then he went to UT also. But a lot of people from Texas. And of course, you have Matthew Mcconaghy down in Austin. And, but yeah, it is less expensive here. A lot of Californians have moved here, or New Yorkers. My parents were originally New Yorkers from upstate New York that moved here. But, because Texas has always been more business friendly. But, they pay more on their taxes on their homes and things, but then the cost of living's less, but then you have sales tax, and, and it's all about supply and demand. So the more people that move here, of course, and the less land that's available, then, of course, the prices can go up. But anyway, I think I'll end it on that note. So, but I'll be talking to y'all again, and hopefully going live pretty soon, if not today, another day. They changed the way you go live, I think, because it's definitely different than it was. Okay, thank you so much, and y'all have a great day.